finally finished listening to Alex Craner and Tom Luongo on Sean Newman podcast. Wait, I'm just gonna share this out to Twitter. It was real good. So they talked about the Dark Lord, which is Mark Carney. And Mark Carney is the godfather of Chrystia Freeland's son, and Chrystia Freeland tracks to Ukraine, and Mark Carney's wife, Diana Carney, is part of the, British establishment. She's British. She's on the Eurasia board of directors. She's a big-time, massive climate fanatic, carbon fanatic, along with on the board of directors, John Baird, who is a campaign manager or finance or whatever for Pierre Poilievre, and Gerald Butts, And so at one point, Tom mentions that, the Dark Lord Mark Carney was involved somehow with Liz Truss, the former Prime Minister of the UK, and the Queen Elizabeth being whacked and the other Liz being sacked, that he might have been involved with that. But, Liz Truss did come out and say that Mark Carney was a disaster for their economy, like he ushered in all of their new green deals, windmills. Now the farmers over there, they're being squeezed off their land. They have to give up some of their land for reforestation, and there's an inheritance tax. Just a disaster of wherever he goes, Mark Carney. It reminds me of that Russian woman who did the astrological predictions for Canada for 2025, because she says that in April, or I think it's April, it might be July 18th being a really big date, but in April, something big will be revealed about the new leader, and there'll be a major crisis in Canada. And basically, she's predicting the end of Canada as we know it, healthcare system going down, everything. I'll put a link later for you to watch that in the description, but just to show you where I am right now. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Ontario. Anyway, so, a lot of this tracks back to Global Affairs Canada because, it was just recently revealed that Justin had sent $11 billion to, the World Bank, which, by the way, nobody knows where the World Bank's accounts are held, for gender advisory, $11 billion. We've sent like hundreds of billions of dollars for gender, climate, LGBTQ, you name it. Well, that's basically and it's unaccountable to us. So that's our shadow government. And it's right there with the King's Privy Council, right? So the reason I bring that up is because that tracks to the Hudson Bay Company. Now, the Hudson Bay Company, they got their charter in 1672. They basically have a charter that lets them operate as a country. They can have artillery, munitions, boots on the ground, navy, courts, laws, and they basically had to surrender after the Queen had gathered up the rest of the Dominion. They surrendered their charter with all I think I might have to go. Anyway, well, I'm going to finish off just by saying if you look at who bought the Hudson Bay Company in 2020, March 3rd, 2020, they're all out of Luxembourg, and the Rhone Capital Group. All of these heavy-duty companies out of Europe that that are involved in massive money transfers, clearing houses and everything else. And yet they sort of pretend to be like this little company that's only got 80 department stores when that's really not what they are. Anyway, I have to go. I've got to take this call. I'll be back.